Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry Saravia at the movies. So, at the D23 Expo, it appears that Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge were there to help present and advertise and promote, obviously, Indiana Jones 5. So far, we still do not have an actual title for this movie, which will be coming out in June 30th of 2023. So, apparently, aside from concept art and Harrison Ford's almost emotional moment discussing this movie, how the Indiana Jones movies have action and all this other stuff, but they also have heart, which is true. And he said that Phoebe Waller-Bridge was pointing at her, was kind of responsible for the heart. Nonetheless, a trailer was shown to the crowd. Now, this is very interesting because the trailer hasn't leaked. Now, I'm not one to say, let's check out trailer leak. Normally, I don't look at these things. Mostly, we hear comic book movies being hyped up for a trailer leak or anything Star Wars related or whatever. Usually, anything Star Wars related is kind of shown to people almost immediately. There's no secret, to it. It's not withheld from people or anything. But here's the thing. So, if you look at the footage of Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge on the stage, and the crowd is going nuts, and they have their cell phones are all pointed at them. And shortly thereafter, the trailer, or what they call a sizzle reel, was shown. Now, there's been some description about this reel. It includes some sort of Indiana Jones on a horse, in a subway, and something to do with a train sequence, and some action moments, and he takes out his whip against some people, and so there's been a lot of description of that. But you would think that obviously this is what must have happened. They must have told them all, turn off your cell phones, nobody can record this, and they must have retrieved their phones, because I cannot believe for a second that nobody recorded even a sliver of of this trailer or sizzle reel, whatever it was that was shown. It just doesn't seem possible. For example, I have, and maybe somebody else might have had, I don't see how you wouldn't. I had a GoPro camera. I have a GoPro camera, which is really quite small. And if you get a piece of black tape, you can block the sensor so that when it's recording, you don't see the red light sensor. So I can't believe for a second that nobody recorded this at all. But there has been no trailer leak. And this is all, now this event was on Saturday. No trailer leak whatsoever. No footage being shown to anybody. So, not even a sliver. This is very unusual. And apparently no footage, I don't know if this is absolutely 100% certain or accurate, no footage will be shown to anybody until December. And when you consider how people are nowadays, somebody must have recorded something. I just cannot believe. The only way this could happen is if they retrieved the phones that everybody had. What if somebody had two phones? What if somebody had a real small phone? There are all sorts of cameras out there that aren't necessarily phones. How can anybody say that nobody recorded this at all? But apparently, nobody did, or nobody can show it if anybody did record it. And Lucasfilm will hunt you down. Now, in Disney, I presume. Now, when it comes to Star Wars, once again, nobody cares. Comic book movies, nobody cares. There was, which I never even looked at, a trailer leak, I was told, for Spider-Man No Way Home, at least a few months in advance before the film was out. But this is a special case. This is something where I guess they'll hunt down people if they even reveal anything at all. And how can you do that? How would anybody even know? What if you share by email? So I don't know what's going on. This is very strange. It's almost unheard of in this day and age. But I like the anticipation, you see. So I'm sort of glad in a way that there was no trailer leak. In this day and age, nobody just, it's like going to a concert. When people go to concerts, even just for garage bands or whatever, they record. They don't even pay attention. They're not looking with their own eyes at the band on stage. They're looking at it through their phone. This is the way of the world. So, and people even record stuff when they're in a movie theater. This is part of the course. So I'm surprised. Anyway, but let's discuss a couple things. So the concept art, this is the one of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And she actually, if you look at her portrait here, is not so dissimilar from the way Marion Ravenwood looked in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Similar kind of shirt. I believe she even had it tied at the bottom as well. I don't think she wore boots, but anyway. Her character is possibly named Helena. I think that has been confirmed. And she is an adventuress, or certainly a highly skilled adventurer of some kind. Probably also in the same business as Indiana Jones looking for artifacts. I wouldn't be surprised if her character, if the way Harrison Ford talked about her, doesn't become a spin-off of its own. And I'm sure she is going to be 110% into it, for sure. So I think that is very likely to happen. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, years ago they said Mutt Williams, Shia LaBeouf's character from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, was going to have his own spin-off movies, but that never happened, as we well know. Now, the other picture here shows him opening, he's in some sort of, there's a tomb of some kind, possibly. It may be a tomb. And what looks like Greek art. So this may be a Greek artifact, possibly. Considering the film was shot in Greece, it wouldn't surprise me. Or maybe this is a clue to something. Who knows? The water looks red, and that presumably is Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character Helena looking at Indy from standing in the water. Interesting concept art. That looks really quite spectacular. That looks like pure Indiana Jones to me. Then this other one is, now this one is some sort of hotel, and what's interesting about this is that if you look at the left-hand side, there is a poster, and that poster seems to show a film called Les Soupirants. I believe that's French. And this is a film that came out in 1962. So the question is that even if this was set later, this is still, presumably, I don't know where this is. This may be in France somewhere. But if it was in 1962, and then there's that ticker tape parade from the Apollo mission in New York City in 1969, then, you know, what years is this movie taking place in? So who knows? It may be 62, 63, and then they flash forward to 69, and we know there may be a flashback opening or opening prologue set in during World War II, because they have de-aged Harrison Ford. My feeling is this. I think this is what's happening. I don't know for sure, obviously, because nobody knows anything for sure. We don't even have a title yet. So this is all pure speculation. I have a feeling Harrison Ford's character is from the 60s, early 60s, and I think they have de-aged his character for the entire movie. That's my belief. I think that's what they've done with Harrison Ford. Now, there is footage of him in other shots where he doesn't seem to have those markers on his face, which is what usually they use to, as part of a computer program, to CGI de-age his face. So who knows? Now, the other good news is Sallah is back. John Rhys Davies is back as Sallah. Now, again, this brings up more questions. We know Antonio Banderas is in the movie. We don't know what character he's playing. We also know Toby Jones is in the movie, possibly in the early World War II flashback. So between Antonio Banderas and Sallah, and I mean, wow, just a lot of characters. So this is going to be a big epic film, I think, much bigger than the other ones, is my feeling anyway, so far. I have a feeling this film will be longer than 2 hours. So the Indiana Jones pictures have been around the 2-hour mark, roughly, if not a little less. So we'll see. Anyway, that's really all we know. But what I'm curious about is, any of you out there, what do you think about the fact that no footage is leaked at all? I mean, again, this would be the only footage, as far as leakage, that I would be even remotely interested in. Because normally for comic book movies, I don't care. I don't look for them. I don't try to. I'm just not as big a fan of comic book movies as I am of Indiana Jones, and so that's that. Even other movies, I don't really. You never hear about some sort of a trailer that has been shown, but nobody could record any of it with their own phone. So even if they have, which I wouldn't doubt, what happened at D23? Did they tell them they couldn't show anything or upload anything? What's going on? That's what I'm curious about. This is really high-level, top secret stuff. I mean, what is going on here? It's just so unusual. I never heard of this happening before, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe others can pinpoint, but what do you think about that, or any of the new information that's been out there, concept art, or anything at all about Indiana Jones 5? That's really the title so far. That's all we know. But it's exciting to know that John Rhys-Davies is back as Sallah. That's pretty cool, and we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say about that. So please subscribe to my channel, lend me your thoughts, and this is Jerry Saravia at the Movies, signing off.